nice, everyone. I am your host, Marissa. I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Also, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Woo!
Now, I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I sound really tired. I have had a really busy past 4.5 days. My friend Ken, so you guys remember from one of our previous episodes, he was here. We were hanging out pretty much like the whole time he was here. Spent the night, the whole time. I am exhausted. I am literally brain fucked.
I don't blame you.
So, anyways, I hope everybody had a good weekend, and let's jump into the show. Oh, Facebook. So let's jump into the show. Tonight's episode is Let's Talk Eddie Guerrero. I promised you guys we were going to do this episode eventually, and I guess we're going to do it tonight. I have some notes here, even though I didn't really need notes. I know a lot about Eddie Guerrero, period. But I took notes anyways for Dystro, so he can follow along. So, are you ready, Dystro?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. So, for those of you who do not know Eddie Guerrero, he's one of the best pro wrestlers of all time. Starting like way back in WWF days or WCW even.
Yeah. Well, he got his start in ECW before, working with like Dean Malenko and stuff like that, and then he went to WCW.
Okay. Now, you see, I was born in 2002, so I did not know much about Eddie growing up as a kid. I didn't learn about him till I got older, as of now. He was born October 9th, 1967 in El Paso, Texas. So he is a Texan.
Hmm.
But his last name is Mexican. So, yeah, he's Latino. Latino Heat. That's what they call him, Latino Heat.
He.
Like you said, he jump started in ECW, went to WCW, and then eventually went over to WWF, which switched over to WWE eventually. You said he was with Dean Malenko. He also was really good friends with Chris Benoit. Yes, we're mentioning him on this podcast. Don't throw any shade at us. We're grown adults. We know what the difference is between wrestling and personal matters. Yeah, so he was in that little group. Dean Malenko also, let's talk about him for just one quick second. One of the best
Oh.
technical wrestlers of all time.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
This dude, man, let me tell you, he is the son of Gory Guerrero, who is also another legendary wrestler from way back before my time.
Mm-hmm.
He has a nephew named Chavo, who is like not too far from his age. He's younger than him. It's just crazy how that's his nephew, and yet they kind of passed off as like brothers.
Yeah, I thought they were brothers like right off the bat, to
But
be
they're not.
honest.
It's uncle and nephew.
Yeah.
Uh, they had formed a tag team known as Los Guerreros. Eventually, they also had a rivalry that ended up taking place, which was actually interesting. I actually think I saw a match between them two. Wasn't it a hair versus hair match? Is that what it was?
Um,
Something like that.
I know they had a hair versus hair match in WCW.
Okay, that might have been the one I watched.
And then in '04, they fought at the Rumble.
Okay, I might have seen both matches. I really don't remember. As you could probably tell, I'm like really tired. Um, so Eddie has had some pretty good rivalries. Like the first one that comes to mind right off the bat is JBL. I mean, you cannot forget that nasty chair shot he took against JBL, but it was not
Oh.
his fault that he bled out so much. It was actually Eddie's fault. He cut because back in the day they used the razor blade technique to cut
Mm-hmm.
themselves open. So it technically was not a real chair shot, I don't think. But according to what I have read up, at least recently, Eddie had cut too deep and it caused him to bleed out.
Man, he was bleeding.
My
Oh my
dad
God.
can't go watch that match anymore. It's just like he can't. It's too bloody.
You see, like that makes the batch like a whole lot, like 10 times better.
That's like a 5-star match right there.
Yeah, and plus that I think that was like Judgment Day, I
I
believe.
think that was Judgment Day '04. I think
I was like, jeez.
it was
Um,
during his title run, which I'll get to that later. So he did have a rivalry with JBL. He also had rivalries with the following stars: Kurt Angle, Batista, Chavo Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and Chris Jericho.
That's
Now,
an interesting one.
I think we all remember Kurt Angle. I mean, with the whole selling his merch, he sold the freaking picture of Kurt with the mustache, and then his freaking gold medal, and he
Hmm.
did that on SmackDown, and it led up to like the fight at Mania and stuff like that, where Eddie's boot came off, and he used that against Kurt, cheating, doing his whole thing, and winning.
Lie, cheat, and steal.
Freaking catchphrase, Viva La Raza. Batista, man, oh my god, I remember the whole thing with Batista. They started out as like pals and went from Batista stealing Eddie's freaking lunch in the back room, like in the locker room. I remember that. Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's funny because it's like I hadn't like watched any of that stuff, but
Oh, I
now
did.
trying to like go back and like look at stuff like this, it's like that's like so mind blowing too. And he had like a good like mini feud with Edge during the SmackDown 6 days too.
Oh yeah. Damn, I didn't know about that because obviously I was too young to remember, so I kind of had to like figure this all out myself.
Right.
Um, so let's see. Back in '04, Eddie Guerrero defeated Brock Lesnar at WWE's pay-per-view No Way Out. He won the title. He did the unthinkable and beat Brock Lesnar. What a freaking achievement. I have that match here on DVD. Honestly, one of my favorite matches of all time. It's a freaking classic. Instant 5-star classic right there.
Mm. Yeah, that's a memorable one because of two things. One, Eddie winning the title and like it's setting up Goldberg versus Brock at Mania, but people remember that match more because of Eddie winning.
It
That's
was
just
just that moment where Eddie reached the top. And the thing was, he had
yeah.
just come back a few years prior from a drug addiction issue. WWE had originally let him go because he
Mm.
had an addiction issue with alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. Went to rehab, um, almost lost his wife. Like his wife almost left him, pretty much. Vicky. He married Vicky Guerrero. His wife almost left him. He had freaking kids to worry about too. WWE let him go. He sobered up and he got to come back. Vince gave him a second chance. Now, if y'all know Vince, he's a stubborn asshole. It's not after when Vince gives you a second chance, but when he gives you a second chance, you better take it and run with it.
Oh yeah.
Exactly what Eddie did. He took it and ran to the hills with it. He came out on top by doing the unthinkable and beating Brock Lesnar for that title.
Yeah. And that was actually a good match that I watched too, so that was a good match.
It was really bittersweet, like super, super bittersweet. Um, his finisher move was known as the 5-star frog splash, which I've also seen RVD imitate multiple times. That's also his finisher. Um, he also has the signature Three Amigos. That's also another thing I've seen many wrestlers do. I think I just saw Santana do it on Dynamite this past week against Jericho.
That's a good homage to Eddie too, which
It
I mean
is.
that's another finisher I guess of his is the lasso from El Paso too.
Oh, really? I forgot to put that down.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like sort of like a tequila sunrise in a way, but it's like almost like mixed into a clover weave, maybe
Hmm,
in a way. But it's like a very interesting submission move. It's like
that's interesting.
only he can pull it off. Nobody else can, but he can pull it off.
Oh, yeah. Now, unfortunately, his life got cut short way too soon. He died November 13th, 2005. His nephew Chavo was the one that found him in his hotel room, in his bathroom. He was on the floor. He was gone. Can you imagine how Chavo must have felt?
Yeah, like I was when I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring on the Benoit episode, it went over Eddie's passing and Chavo like going into the room where Eddie was staying at and just being like, like, hey, bro, like, hey, we're gonna go to the gym, work out and stuff and that, and then he just goes into the bathroom and just sees Eddie lying on the floor. That's so devastating. Just to even think about.
But unfortunately, he died from acute heart failure, which most likely was caused from previous drug abuse, which kind of, in a sense, means he turned his life around just a little too late. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
his heart gave out.
Damn.
And it's
That's
sad. Like, he turned his life around, he won the title, everything, and then unfortunately, he tragically passes away at such a young age. He was only like 30 years old. So, like, my God.
he still had some mileage left in the tank, just to be
Oh,
clear
most
here.
definitely. Most fucking definitely. That about 1 year after his death, he was inducted into the class of 2006 WWE Hall of Fame with Bret Hart. Bret Hart was also in that class. Man, they had a huge lineup for that class. Let me tell you.
They
Saw
always
the
do.
I saw the induction ceremony for Eddie for 2006. I saw it on YouTube, I think, or something like that, or Daily Motion. I
Mm.
really almost cried. Like, it was really touching. They had Rey Mysterio there, they had Chavo, and they had Chris Benoit. Obviously, this was before Chris Benoit did what he did. Um, so they had them there, all doing speeches about their friend Eddie. You could tell Chris Benoit was really, really mentally impacted by this. And then they brought out Vicky and his daughters to accept the award, which also was really, really touching.
Yeah. It's it's just so mind-boggling that he passed away so young to
Yeah. He, like you
just like
said, he has so much potential left. Like, there was so much to fulfill in the storybook of his career. And
mhm,
it just sucks it got cut so freaking short. And
mhm.
I always wonder to this day, if Eddie would have never passed, would Chris Benoit still be here today?
I think he would have. Um that because Nancy would have still been around and David would still been around.
Well, David's still alive. I think you mean
Or
Daniel.
Daniel, I'm sorry. Daniel.
It's so good.
Um but those two would have still been alive with Chris as well if
I
Eddie
obviously
had
think so too.
and if Eddie had not passed. And I think Benoit and Eddie could have teached the newer generation that we know today, like like Sammy Guevara, Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. Like can teach him some new tricks. Maybe have like a match with Eddie at some point in the future, being like, hey, like 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 I grew up idolizing you, and just be like, okay, and just have like a match between Kingston and Eddie. That would have been super dope just to
I
see it.
agree. I agree. Now, I'd like to do another episode sometime down the road just about Chris Benoit. Now, this is going to be a very, very controversial topic, which I will obviously do a little warning at the beginning of the video when we do it. So,
Mhm.
if you guys would like to see that, you better stick around because we are going to do this. I don't care what people think about him, what people have to say. We are just going to talk straight from the heart, straight from our minds. We're going to basically talk with an open mind.
Yeah, it's like I think
It's
people
This is a
need
shoot the
to.
shit podcast. Like, you need, like, yeah, we need to open up and just speak out how we feel, what we know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Shoot the shit. Like, we don't give a shit what people think about what we're talking about. If you don't like it, then don't watch or don't listen. If you do
Go
like
find
it,
another podcast.
sticking around. Like, yeah, if you do like it, thank you for sticking around. We appreciate it. Now this is gonna be a pretty short episode, and I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. How about let's end the episode on this. Uh, what is one match you would recommend to anybody out there who does not know who Eddie Guerrero is?
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, so three come to mind right away. Um, I know you said one, but I'm gonna do
That's
three.
all good.
Um, the ECW television title match between Malenko and Eddie Guerrero from ECW, of course. Um, Mania 21 between Ray and Eddie, and Halloween Havoc 97 between Ray and Eddie.
Ooh, good choice. Honestly, I love that match, by the way, the last one you just said, the Halloween Havoc one. I love that match. I have that here on DVD as well. I can think of a couple as well. My first one that comes to mind, my favorite match of all time, is the parking lot brawl between John Cena and Eddie Guerrero on SmackDown.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
I believe that was in 2003, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Man, I laugh my ass off at that match every time. It's so funny. So that is one. I definitely recommend Brock Lesnar versus Eddie at No Way Out 04. That's like a classic right there. Instant 5-star classic. And, oh man. I'd have to say his very last match he had before he died. It was Eddie Guerrero versus Mr. Kennedy on SmackDown 05. I recommend that one because he cheats. He does his whole signature cheating. So those are my three. I'll probably put one at the end of this episode. I'll put in the a little tab up on the top right of the video at the end. I'll put it there. I don't know which I'm going to pick yet.
I was gonna say the annotations.
I'm tired.
It's all right. I don't blame you.
So I will put a match, one of our matches in the annotation above. So if you guys are interested, be sure to watch the freaking match. All right, so that is the end. Let's talk Eddie Guerrero. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you stuck around to the end, we'd greatly appreciate it. And thank you. So I have written down here our episodes for this week coming up, week of May 8th. I'm only going to announce the first one. This Thursday, we are doing another debate hour. I don't know if we've done one on YouTube yet. I know we did one on Spotify. It did get deleted, but we're going to redo it eventually. Just don't know when yet. We have a lot of other topics to cover on this podcast that we'd like to get to first.
Yep.
So this Thursday, we're doing Debate Hour, Wrestling Edition. We're going to pick two tag teams and compare them, contrast them. And at the end of the episode, we're going to discuss which one we pick. It is between Rated RKO versus RK Bro.
Oh, that's gonna be some controversy right there.
Now, both tag teams have Randy Orton. However, Rated RKO has Edge, and Rated RK Bro, not Rated, what am I saying? RK Bro had Matt Riddle.
Man, that'd be funny. Rated RK Bro.
And Edge just joins for some reason.
He just joins for some reason.
Oh, man. So yeah, Debate Hour Wrestling Edition, Rated RKO versus RK Bro. That'll be this Thursday coming up. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a good episode. I really don't know who I'm gonna pick, to be honest with you. I love both these tag teams.
It's funny because it's like we could just do heads or tails for it and just be like, all right, like you get heads and I get tails or something like that. And it's just whoever, whatever.
We can flip the coin before the show.
Yeah, just flip the coin before the show. Yeah.
Heads will be Rated RK Bro, tails will be RK Bro. And if we get the same one, we get the same one. Nah, we're not. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to look into these tag teams and take notes and compare, contrast, and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'll send you the notes, and then you can make your decision.
Yeah, just gotta be like, okay, like which one do I know more?
Or which one do I like more? That's how it really comes down. But yeah, that'll be this Thursday, everyone. So hope to see you guys there for that. I'm not going to announce Sundays yet. That'll come on Thursday night. So yeah, that will be it for tonight's episode. We greatly appreciate those who stuck around to the very end. And I apologize if it's a little shorter than usual, but I am very tired and I am probably going to head to bed after uploading this. So thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys this Thursday for the next episode. Bye.
Bye.